This year we've been really privileged to have lots of different birds visiting and nesting in the garden, and particularly delightful are the fledgling robins at the moment. And one last week came in so close while I was hanging out the washing that he almost perched on my boot. Quite delightful. And as I thought about it, I wondered, what was it about this little robin that so entranced me? And I realised it was because it was so fearless, and that was the word that stuck with me. And I appreciate all the birds that come in the garden. I love all of them. I love the little songbirds that stick to the walls and the hedgerows. They're elusive, but they're totally charming. And the little wren that bobs in and out and you just catch glimpses of him. But something about this robin really held my attention. And I thought about the number of times in the Bible where we are told, do not be afraid. It's important to God. Do not be afraid. It's repeated over and over again. Do not be afraid. So if it's important to God, it needs to be important to me. And I looked back over my life and I thought about the times when I have been fearful in the past. And I thought about how fear has a tendency to grab hold of you and hold you pinioned, to hold you motionless, and you're just stuck there with this overwhelming, paralysing, suffocating fear, and you can do nothing. And over the years, what I've learnt to do is to refocus. And it tells us in the New Testament to take every thought captive. And when I get a fearful thought now, I remember that and I take hold of that thought and I refuse to dwell on it and let it get bigger. I don't imagine scenarios. I grab hold of that one thought and I wrestle that thought to the ground, and I refuse to let that thought become more and bigger until I am paralysed by fear. And instead, I shift my focus to who God is. God's word to us says, do not be afraid. I am with you. And he promises his presence with us. So instead, I shift my focus to who God is. And I find that I can usually get the upper hand on fear. So that was one aspect of this little robin that came to mind. And the other aspect, when I thought about it, was the reason it was so charming was because it came in so close. It came in so close that I could see the individual feathers, that I could see that the markings on the body were changing and he was getting more and more of the characteristic red breast. And I could look him in the eye. I could see him face to face. And there was something so special about it coming so close, this little wild creature. And I'm quite sure that God the Father loves it when we come in close. He loves to have his children gathered around him. So my question today is, where am I in my relationship with God? Have I got my head down? Am I skulking in the shadows? Am I staying safe? Do I flit in and out occasionally? Or am I being fearless? Am I boldly coming towards God the Father so that I can see him face to face?